Hi everybody, this is Professor Quine and this is the second webinar that I have recorded devoted to a part of speech, and this one is the pronoun. I mean these webinars for all of my classes, 91, 92, whatever, for anyone who needs a quick brush up on pronouns and whatever other elements of grammar that I cover. So let's get down to it. You'll notice first of all up on the screen that I have a website mentioned here, englishclub.com. I also have englishclub.com bookmarked on our Blackboard course site under other useful links. If you go there and click on the englishclub.com link, it'll get you right to that website, or of course you can type this into your web browser. Anyway, englishclub.com is a site that was designed for people who are new to the language and who are learning it. However, it breaks things down so well, explains things so well, those things meaning grammar and other writing issues, that I suggest that all of my students go and visit englishclub.com. And when you get there, you're going to find that they do an excellent job of going over things like parts of speech and pronouns and stuff. So if you need a quick rundown on any of those things, especially pronouns, again, go see englishclub.com. What I'm going to do in this webinar is quickly just take you through the highlights of pronoun use. You can see on the screen I have a little cheat sheet for you there on subject pronouns. These are the pronouns that you can use in the subject of a sentence. Remember, a sentence's subject is either, you can use either a noun or a subject pronoun in the sentence's subject. So let's talk subject pronouns. Subject pronouns are either singular or plural, or come in first person, second person, or third person. Second person is the easiest to explain because the second person is always the pronoun you. Either, you specifically or you meaning a group, but it's always you. The first person pronoun is singular or plural. The singular is I. That's your other name, right? That's the pronoun that's always capitalized. And the plural version of the first person pronoun is we. Notice that when you are speaking in first person, you have to be there. In other words, if I were standing in front of a classroom, I would be standing there. Then if somebody else would come in and stand in front of the classroom with me, there would be a we standing there, and I would be part of that we, right? I have to be present. Okay, for the third person pronoun, we have male, female, and neuter, meaning no gender pronoun. So the male is he, the female is she, and the genderless pronoun is it. What would you use it for? Well, to refer to things like a computer or the telephone, or a Xerox machine, a car, anything like that. If there are a group of people walking down the hallway, you can refer to the people as a they. That's the plural form of the third person. Now, those are pronouns that you can use in the subject of a sentence. These are object pronouns. The next group here, the next table. Object pronouns will be used, for instance, in something like a prepositional phrase, which is something that we haven't gone over yet. So I'm not going to spend a great deal of time going over object pronouns right now, but you can see here what they are. Instead of I, it's me. Instead of we, it's us. The object pronoun stays the same. In the second person, it's always you. And you can see the third person object pronouns. So we'll be bringing those back into play when we get to prepositional phrases. So just make note of them. Another kind of pronoun is the indefinite pronoun, and as its name implies, the indefinite pronoun doesn't specify exactly who or what you're talking about. So instead of saying, Fred knows not to cross the street without looking both ways, you would say something like, anyone knows not to cross the street without looking both ways. So you're not naming somebody or something, you're being indefinite. So here are some examples of singular indefinite pronouns, and here are some examples of plural indefinite pronouns. Now, another kind of pronoun is the reflexive pronoun, and these are the self or selves pronouns. So here we have something like myself, yourself, himself, themselves. Okay, these are all self pronouns, reflexive pronouns. And I'm bringing those up because they lead me into a little discussion about something called pronoun antecedent agreement. An antecedent, the root ante, means something that comes before. So pronoun antecedent agreement refers to the pronoun agreeing in person and in number with what it refers to, what comes before it. To explain that concept, I've written a sentence for you. You can see it right here. And the sentence says, the company will have their picnic in July. Now, if you've gone to EnglishClub.com and looked at some of those tables of pronouns that they have there, you'll find that there's this thing called a possessive pronoun. It's as its name implies, it's a pronoun used to show possession of something. And here's an example right here, the word there. The word there in this sentence possesses picnic. Whose picnic? Their picnic, right? Okay, so even though it's a possessive pronoun, it's still a pronoun. And remember from our studies before this that they is a plural, right? Their is based upon the pronoun they, and so it's a plural. Well, the problem is that the thing that there refers to, in other words, the antecedent of there, is the word company. This is what there is being used to refer to, right? Notice that company is a singular and there is a plural. You can't have good pronoun antecedent agreement unless the pronoun agrees in number with its antecedent. So how can we fix this? We can take out the word there and instead put in the word its. It is a singular, right? So now we have good pronoun antecedent agreement. One other kind of pronoun error that I'm going to mention to you before I close up this webinar is pronoun reference. This is when the writer is using pronouns in a kind of careless way and we can't really figure out to whom the pronoun is referring to. And so you always want to make sure that it is clear when you use a pronoun that the reader understands who or what the pronoun is referring to. Well, that's all I have for you on pronouns. Again, if you want to learn more about pronouns, go to EnglishClub.com. And of course, your book also, I believe, has some good information on pronouns. I hope you found this helpful. Goodbye.